Good afternoon, everyone. If you are in the UK, and good morning, buenos dias, bom dia, if you are in Latin America. It's a pleasure to host you all here for this webinar to talk about our Latin America, UK Latin America partnership on net zero and resilience webinar. We are really happy to be able to deliver this program in partnership with ICLAI in South America and all the other partners that are involved on this program. It has been a long journey since we got here. We start with some small activities in Latin America, small projects in different parts of the region, from Colombia, Panama, Chile, Mexico. But now we are starting to really get into some of these large activities and programs with the great potential of really strengthening the partnership between UK and Latin America on net zero and resilience, so that we can all address these large climate and resilience challenges that we are facing. The UK and Latin America face very similar challenges that needs to be addressed, and they need to be addressed now. So nothing best than UK and Latin American companies to be able to work together and try to solve all these challenges that cities in the region and in the UK are currently facing. We are really grateful to be for being for the support that we receive from the Science and Innovation Network, from the UK government, also from the Department of Business and International Development from the UK base, the minister that's very much supporting of this program. And we really believe this can really bring a lot of change and develop a series of partnerships between the UK and Latin America on net zero. We are engaging with really amazing cities, I would say, in Latin America, from Mexico, Guadalajara and Monterrey, from Argentina, Buenos Aires, from Brazil, the city of Campinas, and we also have Porto Alegre and Santiago, Chile as observer cities. And the idea is for this program to keep growing and really become a milestone for the cooperation between UK and Latin America on partnership on net zero and resilience. So today we're going to have quite a large event where we'll be able to present the different challenges that have been identified on the cities we are working on. And we will be able to discuss a bit more how UK and Latin American companies can apply for these challenges to really get together and deliver on these partnerships now and in the future. We will be hearing from the cities. We will be hearing from other partners such as ICLAI and others. And I think will be very a great opportunity for us to actually understand much better where we are and what are the opportunities that we are facing. So as discussed, in Monterrey, we'll be talking about water resilience, Buenos Aires and Campinas, last mile logistics, and we also have the metropolitan area of Guadalajara here to talk about their own challenges. And as you can say, we're going to have an open call, and we will be selecting UK and local companies to address these challenges with a series of opportunities, including the opportunity to go to market and also talk to different partners. But you'll hear much more from the experts. Right now, I'd just like to hand over to Rodrigo Perpetuo, who's Executive Director from ICLAI South America, for some opening remarks. And it's always a pleasure to be working with ICLAI in this additional project. So Rodrigo, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guilherme. For us, from the ICLAI perspective, which is probably the biggest local government's network which works towards local sustainability, it's a pleasure and an honor to partner with the Connected Places Catapult in this UK Latin American partnership on net zero and resilience. And this is very special because we are walking in a road, in a pathway that has been very much highlighted in the last two COPs, climate COPs, the Egyptian one last November and the British one in the year before. In the COP26 in Scotland, we had the Race to Zero and the Race to Resilience calls, both in order to claim all stakeholders to accelerate their commitment to net zero and to open the eyes of the world towards the necessity to treat adaptation and resilience as urgently as mitigation. So this partnership is actually reassuring that we are on the right track to implementation. We will have the local governments on the leadership of this process, but in a multi-level perspective, as Guilherme presented to us, having the British cooperation through the Connected Places Catapult, leading this process, but also seeking for the national government's support in all the countries that the partnership and project will impact. And this will allow for the local governments to work with the private sector, especially startups, small business that are willing to present innovative solutions, not only to mitigation, but also to adaptation, addressing the climate crisis at the local level with pretty much concrete solutions that we want to see scaling up and serving all the cities in the region and in a later stage in the world. If we look at the last COP in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, the SURGE initiative, the Sustainable Urban Resilience for the Next Generation initiative, was presented as an initiative that claims also this connectivity between mitigation and adaptation. And this is the way that we are going to connect the climate solutions to the urban solutions, both to mitigate and to present resilience in the local level. So we are very thrilled to have the possibility to collaborate in this partnership and in this project. We are sure that in the end, we are going to stimulate a lot this local connectivity between universities, local enterprises, and also the local governments. And this is the right way to do it, and a multi-actor approximation that will benefit in the end the sustainable development on the ground. And to give a more concrete approach on the project, I'm very happy to present and to invite Aline Martins, and she is the Global Collaborative and Research and Development Lead for the Connected Places Catapult. Aline, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Rodrigo, for your words and very inspiring speech on the project. It's been a pleasure to work with you and the CLAY team. So everyone, as Rodrigo mentioned, my name is Aline Martins. I'm a global collaborative research and development lead at Connected Places Catapult. And this is very much a project close to my heart, coming from Brazil myself. So, and as Guilherme mentioned, the UK-LATAM Net Zero Resilience Program is about what we're really trying to achieve with this project is to develop long-term research and innovation collaborations between the UK and LATAM and Latin America, but really focusing on business-led research and development collaboration and really building those links. We know, as Rodrigo mentioned, cities have a very important role to play in enabling national governments in implementing their, achieving their net zero kind of ambitions. And we know that in cities and regions is where innovation really happens. So that's why we are working with cities and regions in LATAM. We have four core cities, which are Buenos Aires in Argentina, Campinas in Brazil, the metropolitan area of Guadalajara, and Monterrey in Mexico. And we are also working with the metropolitan region of Santiago in Chile and Porto Alegre in Brazil. I wanted to also cover a little bit of the specific goals of the project. So as we've mentioned, we are working with core cities to further refine their current challenges around the decarbonization agenda. And when I mentioned further refine is all the cities are really paving the way in not only in their own countries, but globally on the decarbonization, on climate, on the leading on the climate change agenda. So we are working with them to really identify what are the most pressing challenges that they have around net zero and resilience, and we're translating them to the startup and SME community. So that's what we are doing as Connected Places Catapult in collaboration with the CLAY and Impact Hub, that which is our partner on the ground as well to engage with the local startup and SME community. We're also working with the observer cities of Santiago, the metropolitan region of Santiago and Porto Alegre, to develop an initial net zero profile. We've done that with the other cities. So it's a piece of research that we are going to deliver and explore what are the main net zero challenges in their cities and what are the opportunity for the UK and those specific cities to collaborate and tackle these challenges jointly. And we would like to also replicate the model that we're using in the other cities that I've mentioned, the core cities, replicate the same model that we are implementing in the other cities. Another big element of this project, and the reason why you're here today, is because we're going to select UK and local companies with solutions that can support those cities and regions to tackle their challenges. And we are going to create opportunities for those local startups and SMEs to explore synergies and complementarities, really to be able to establish those partnerships to jointly tackle challenges in Latin America. But we also believe that by integrating, by co-developing solutions, those, the UK startups, UK and local startups can really explore opportunities in the UK and in global markets. So it's really about creating those synergies. Finally, what we're seeking to do is to set out the foundations to enable, like I've mentioned, the co-development and particularly the testing and deployment of the solutions in a real environment in those 4 selected geographies. So really setting up the foundations of those of potential test beds and demonstrators in Buenos Aires, Campinas, metropolitan region of Guadalajara, and Monterrey in the first instance. Next slide, please. Now, I just wanted to share a little bit with you the kind of ambition of the project, which, well, we're now here in phase 1. We are refining the challenges. We are translating them to you, startups and SMEs. And we're going to carry out a series of matchmaking activities, capacity building activities as well. And we really want to raise your profile in UK companies in LATAM and LATAM companies in the UK. But our ambition is to then move to a second phase of the project where we would then facilitate the co-development of solutions, co-development integration of solutions between UK and local startups, and the testing. So that will be the next phase of the project. And why we want to do that? Because by creating those research innovation collaborations, we can increase the knowledge sharing and collaborative research and development between the countries. We can build a pipeline of potential bilateral trade and investment between the UK and the region. Obviously, decrease CO2 emissions and increase shared economics prosperity. As Guilherme mentioned, this is a global challenge, and we can tackle it together and increase prosperity for both geographies. Next slide, please. And just to finalize, as I've mentioned, we have been working with the cities already to refine their challenges. We have carried out a series of interviews, and we've done a lot of research. And these are the 4 identified initial challenges. Buenos Aires, last mile logistics; Campinas, Brazil, mobility and last mile logistics; metropolitan area of Guadalajara, Mexico, mobility; and water resilience in Monterrey, Mexico. So we will hear from Betsabeth Rocha, the Secretary of Economic Development in the government of Monterrey in a minute. Well, just go back, please. Yes, sorry. We're also going to hear from Nahuel Pugliese from the government of Buenos Aires. He's the climate change manager. We are also going to see a video. Unfortunately, Marta Patricia Martinez Barba, Director General for the Institute of Planning and Development Management of IMEPLAN from Guadalajara, was not able to come, but we will show a video which will be displayed in Spanish with subtitles in English. And just to finalize, unfortunately, due to a urgent commitment, the representative of the city of Campinas was not able to join us, but just very briefly, Campinas is the second largest city in the state of São Paulo in Brazil, with a population of 1.2 million and 3.7 million people in the metropolitan region of Campinas, and has one of the largest GDPs per capita in Brazil. So it's also an innovation hub. It's home of one of the best universities in Brazil. So it's a very interesting city and city region for collaboration as well. So we will be sharing more information about the challenge in Campinas. So follow us on our website, and we'll be sharing more information about the challenge as soon as we have so. So now, I would just like to hand over to Betsabeth, who will be talking a little bit about the challenge of water resilience in Monterrey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to thank the opportunity to be in this panel, and more importantly, to be part of this initiative that Catapult and UK is handing over to us. I was just reviewing the challenges of the other cities, and I think Monterrey, yes, water resilience is one of our biggest challenges, and the other one is mobility. But putting in order, water resilience last year was the challenge for us, for our city. And I'm gonna be very brief give a very brief overview about Monterrey, just for you to understand the importance of Monterrey as a city, as a capital city of the state of Nuevo León. And we always consider Monterrey as a city-state, state-city strategy or point of view, because 85% of the population in the state of Nuevo León lives in the metropolitan area of Monterrey. In fact, last year we were assigned as the #2 biggest city in Mexico. Just after Mexico City, we were always, well, not competing, but always in the third place, just after Guadalajara metropolitan area. And last year we were given this category. And it's not just to understand or to be in the second place, but with that implied, or what that implies, well, is for us as a city to start to work in a strategy to overcome all the challenges that may come with this growth. Why we are growing that much? Well, just to give some economic facts about the importance of our city is city, again, Monterrey, considered the metropolitan area, and most common known as Monterrey, the city-state, the state city. 4%, with 4% of the population in Mexico, we contribute with 8% in terms of GDP, and in terms of exports is almost 10%. Last year and this year has been a great year for us, attracting foreign direct investment with investments from all of the world. The nearshoring is benefit our city a lot. But with that in mind, a lot of investments are coming, and we need to prepare. Why is that? Because at this point, we are considered the second biggest city in Mexico and have some struggles in terms of infrastructure. required to support all this growth. Well, just put that in mind. If a lot more FDA is coming into town, well, we need to be prepared. And that is being taken as a strategy. Consider the metropolitan area, but working with the state Department of Infrastructure. In fact, there is a metropolitan table where are being addressed topics as mobility, environment, and security. Are these three main topics are addressed in this metropolitan area, because we understand there is no such as municipal limit talking when you're talking about environment. There's no such municipal limit when you're talking about water struggles. There's no municipal when you're talking about security. So there's some topics that need to be addressed as a common topic, and that's the reason we are working in this metropolitan table, where the metropolitan municipalities are gathered and working along very much together with the state and along with the federal support. It is very important, just to put that in mind. And with that in mind, I'm gonna address why the water resilience for us is being a challenge for this year, and that's the reason we wanted to address this as a main topic in the Catapult project. As a city, Monterrey has many significant steps toward reaching net zero. Obviously, that's the reason we are investing a lot in new public transport system. In fact, there's a huge project driven by the state that is gonna put Monterrey, well, again in the topics of mobility. We were lacking of a good mobility and in good investment since the past 20 years. So there was not such a good investment in infrastructure in terms of mobility, and that's the reason now we are facing the challenges. That's why we are increasing a lot of the infrastructure in terms of transport and all the public transport system, and setting obviously a clear strategy for further changes. It has also an impressive track record of sustainable procurement, architecture, construction, and all that has been to reach net zero by 2050. It was the first time that as a city, we address and understand the responsibility that we have as a city, and we declare the emergency our mayor declared the emergency as a city, understanding the responsibility of the municipal and the action that the local government need to take. And that was in La COP, in La COP 26. It was 2 years ago, and he was also part of the last COP in Egypt. And again, addressing all the challenges. And I think there's not never good time when municipal government need to take action. And I think this is one of the biggest results and the biggest success that we have had, that our local government understand what needs to be addressed, and what at least the first steps needs to be taken. However, a critical challenge remains around us, and this is about water security for the future. For our last year, we have our city suffered from the highest level of water stress in Mexico. There was a point where in homes, in residential areas, there were only 3 hours of water. That was in last year, in July, August, the times or the months that we have more drought, because our temperatures here in the city can reach up to, well, in centigrades, can get up to 40, 42 degrees. So imagine having those temperatures in the climate and having not water security. Well, it was a challenge, not only to support the infrastructure, and I was telling you, there's a lot of FDI. We have more than 120 industrial parks. We have more than 4,000 foreign companies in our state living here and having, their manufacturing facilities. They need water, but most importantly, the people need water, and we were not able to supply all the needs. And there were times where we need to shortcuts the water in the plants and the manufacturing. And imagine having, this huge opportunity of the nearshoring, reshoring, and not having the possibility to manufacture at all. So, I mean, we're not talking just about water and having these water strikes, but also taking into consideration the needs for us to address this topic in order to be competitive. We cannot be competitive if we don't have enough infrastructure to support these huge projects. So that's the reason in February 2022, the government declared a water emergency for the area for the first time in history, changing rainfall patterns and intensifying heat waves made the last 2 decades the driest in the past 1,000 years in our city. Imagine that. So that's the reason a hub for innovation and entrepreneurship in Latin America, and with a healthy and thriving economy, we need as a city to be ready to push metropolitan cooperation to tackle the water crisis. And just to point out some of the key challenges that we are addressing in this progress is there is a poor water recycling and rainwater harvesting systems in our city. Natural ecosystem degradation throughout the city and surrounding region has weakened natural of the natural resources and cause issues with the rapid runoff water. The third one, some communities are unaware of the issues around the water. We have no culture of water in our neighborhoods. That's the reason we as a municipality start to bring culture to not, well, for years we have enough water, and this was the first time that we didn't have it, and everyone was complaining. But the first change needs to start with us at home, with our people, and that's the reason we started to have a lot of programs, and all the municipalities start to have programs in the schools, in the neighborhoods, to create this culture around the water. There is minimal uptake and slow implementation of water meters and smart water tariffs. We don't know how much it costs, to treat the water, all the system, what is implied to have water in our house. So I think that's very at the cultural level, but we need to go that deep in order to have this huge project addressed. And finally, but not least, there is a lack of digitalization across our network, water network, which has slowed down systemic progress and made it very difficult to point out what parts have some dismiss or there are some problems in our network. We have not digitalization, we have no system or the modern system we need to address the problems very fast in a fast way that we can react. So for us, it's very crucial to consider not only the challenges today, but also to consider what it needs to be implied and to be addressed right now in order to comply with our 2050 net zero project. So for us, it's a great opportunity. And now I'm talking about the economic development point of view, which is the office I'm honored to be leading. Is okay. We are addressing this challenge that it doesn't matter if you are involved or not in the industry. It doesn't matter. We really notice and we live that how important the water is for our daily basis. And that's the reason, from an economic point of view, we have this problem in order to address innovation and to see how all these people that have innovation and have these great entrepreneurs projects, how this project can support a really very important challenge for us. And now we consider it as a challenge, but right now it's a problem for us, and we don't want that to be happen again this coming summertime. So thank you again for the opportunity to share what Monterrey is addressing as this water resilience we are working towards. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, can we thank you so much, Betsabe. Can now invite Nawel Pugliese, Climate Change Manager from Buenos Aires.
Yes, hello everyone. Well, I'm happy to be here. Well, my name is Nahuel Pugliese. I work in the climate change department in Buenos Aires city government. We're in charge of implementing all the climate change policy in Buenos Aires. So, well, we have been working with Catapult for a few years, and we are really excited to be part of this project. I will talk a little bit about our climate action policy, especially our climate action plan. Buenos Aires has been working in climate action for several years. Has had different climate action plans. In 2021, we launched our third climate action plan, Buenos Aires climate action plan for 2050. It was developed with the help of C40, this network. It was approved by C40 and is aligned with the Paris Agreement. We have different goals, especially related to mitigation in a midterm to 2030 to reduce our emissions by half. And we have a goal for carbon neutrality for 2050. So it's a very ambitious plan. And well, and we have different goals for different sectors, especially related to mitigation and more with transport. We have different actions related to improving the public transport, also to develop and to improve the mobility related to bicycle. We have a strong strategy related to transport, sustainable transport in the city, and also we had an action related to this last mile logistics to improve this work, and it's really new in the city. So I think this is a very good opportunity there is a good opportunity to work with the private sector, especially in this topic. That's why we are working on that, and we decided to go in this direction with this project, because we think it's a very good opportunity to involve the private sector and also to include a new technologies and on all that the UK partnership can bring to us. So, well, the goal in our climate action plan is related to this topic is to have two low carbon areas in the city for 2030. We're planning on working on that and planning this for in the medium term. But in the meantime, we are trying to have a lot of actions related to improve the efficiency of the urban logistics in the city. So related to technology and to improve the times and the places where we can improve the traffic of the logistics. Well, we have a lot of different ideas and projects, but this support of Catapult and the UK partnership is really a big opportunity for us to really implement this and to have real results, and also to have the cooperation and the participation of the private sector. It's a key in this topic. So, well, we're really happy to start this project, to have to participate in it, and well, we have high expectations. So we hope that we have a lot of companies that will apply for this and to have good, really good results. So, well, that's a little resume of what are our main challenges here. You can add there is the climate action plan. You can check it in our website. You have all the actions, and especially this one related to rural logistics. And well, we'll be happy to see how this works. So this is our challenges for Buenos Aires. Well, thank you for being part of this webinar.
Thank you so much, Noel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. The next presentation is it's a video from the metropolitan area of Guadalajara. The challenges around mobility, and the video will be delivered by Marta Patricia Martinez Barba, who is the Director General for IMEPLAN. As I've mentioned, the video will be in Spanish with subtitles in English.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Soy Patricia Martínez y soy la directora del Instituto Metropolitano de Planeación del Área Metropolitana de Guadalajara. Y como embajadora de este gran desafío, comenzaré haciendo una presentación sobre el contexto de esta ciudad. Y bueno, para iniciar, importante, ¿cuál es nuestra geografía? Quienes integramos esta AMG. Somos 9 municipios metropolitanos donde vivimos prácticamente 5.3 millones de personas, de las 8 que habitamos el estado de Jalisco. Y somos la segunda metrópoli más grande de México. ¿Cuál es el desafío que tenemos actualmente? Pues en los años recientes se ha hecho una inversión muy importante en toda la política de movilidad y de transporte en el estado de Jalisco y en concreto en el área metropolitana. ¿Cómo? Se invirtió en la renovación de alrededor de 5,000 unidades de transporte público convencional, que se integran alrededor de poco más de 300 rutas de transporte público. Además, se invirtió en echar a andar un BRT de 41.5 kilómetros, en la conclusión de una línea de tren ligero. Ya se está iniciando en la construcción de una línea más. Ahorita prácticamente pasamos de 40 kilómetros de un sistema de transporte masivo a 104 kilómetros. Esto me parece que habla muy bien de lo que se ha hecho en los últimos, en los 4 años más recientes de gobierno. Y también se echó a andar la primera ruta totalmente eléctrica en el país, en el oriente de la ciudad, que es una de las zonas con mayores grados de marginación. Y bueno, toda esta gran política pública de movilidad, el desafío que está enfrentando principalmente ahora tiene que ver con la percepción de calidad en el servicio, tanto para las usuarias como los usuarios de transporte público. ¿Y a qué me refiero en concreto? En que requieren de información precisa y en tiempo real para poder hacer una planificación mucho más eficiente de sus viajes. Tenemos herramientas como Google Maps, como Movit, desde donde se pueden ver las rutas de transporte público, pero no hay información precisa que nos permita saber en cuánto tiempo, por ejemplo, pasa la ruta de transporte público que estamos esperando, o bien que nos ayude a planificar mejor nuestros viajes, sobre todo a las mujeres, quienes no realizamos viajes pendulares, sino que tenemos viajes con distintas conexiones para cumplir con distintas tareas de los cuidados. Y además, creo que ante este desafío es importante decir que no partimos de cero, porque tenemos una inversión muy fuerte en conectividad a través de la red Jalisco, y esto significa que hay internet en todas las paradas de transporte público y en toda esta red de la que les estoy hablando. ¿Dónde creemos que está el reto y cuál es el desafío que les presentamos el día de hoy? En mejorar la experiencia de las y los usuarios de transporte público mediante soluciones tecnológicas con datos e información precisa en tiempo real que nos permitan hacer mucho más eficientes los traslados e incentivar la movilidad en transporte público, así como en otros medios alternativos de transporte, como es el caso de la bicicleta. Incluso el de realizar viajes intermodales. Algunos avances que tenemos estratégicos que son importantes dentro de todo el contexto de este desafío son, pues bueno, como les mencionaba, todo este conjunto de acciones, me parece que es importante ver lo que se ha hecho desde una visión más amplificada. Que tenemos un sistema de bicicleta pública consolidado y en crecimiento, actualmente 300 estaciones, 3.200 bicicletas, 132.000 usuarias y usuarios registrados, y a la fecha de hoy se han realizado 22 millones de viajes, o sea que hay un gran potencial de datos que tenemos que nos podrían ayudar con este desafío, además de las herramientas tecnológicas. Y bueno, esto es parte de lo que les mencionaba también de estas inversiones que se han realizado, pero también de cómo se ha atendido esta agenda de movilidad de cero emisiones en la ciudad. Porque evidentemente existe de nuestra parte y desde el Instituto Metropolitano de Planeación, pues un compromiso muy importante para cumplir con los objetivos de planes como este, el Integral de Movilidad Urbana Sustentable, y de otros instrumentos, como es el caso del Plan de Acción Climática para el área metropolitana de Guadalajara, donde tenemos establecidas metas muy claras para el año 2050, con un corte a 2030, para que el área metropolitana sea carbono neutral, resiliente y con una visión hacia 2050 que está alineada a los acuerdos de París. Y bueno, como parte del trabajo que realizamos en el instituto, me parece importante decirles que hay toda una solvencia técnica desde donde estaremos acompañando, con un equipo con el que estaremos acompañando este desafío. Realmente es que todos nuestros proyectos están alineados a estos objetivos de desarrollo sostenible, y prueba de ello es que somos el área metropolitana de las 74 que hay en todo México, que lidera por segundo año consecutivo el índice de ciudades sostenibles, y hemos obtenido algunos reconocimientos y aquí muestro algunos ejemplos. Les mencionaba hace un momento el Plan de Acción Climática, y pues fue premiado durante la COP en 2021 como el Premio a la Acción Climática Global de las Naciones Unidas, por ser un instrumento que cuenta con esta visión metropolitana de acción climática. Y estamos muy comprometidos no solamente en realizar estos instrumentos, sino en que tengan una implementación efectiva y que podamos tener una medición de impacto que nos permitan estar reportando y evaluando estos instrumentos. Y el premio más reciente que recibimos con mucho orgullo y que también nos incentiva a seguir trabajando en desafíos como el que presentamos hoy, pues es en que realmente estemos resolviendo situaciones que impactan la vida de las personas. Es el caso de Nidos de Lluvia, un programa a través del cual instalamos sistemas de captación de agua de lluvia en las zonas con mayor vulnerabilidad hídrica en la metrópoli. Entonces, pues cerraría con esto. Nos interesa ser parte de estos desafíos que no solamente nos resuelven técnicamente algunas necesidades, sino que su impacto final está en la calidad de vida de las personas. Muchas gracias, que tengan muy buen día y mucho gusto.
Thank you so much, Marta. I will now call Jeffrey Stevens, who is our urban technology team lead. But before Jeff comes online, I would just like to ask everyone, if you have any questions, just click on the Q&A button and we will answer the questions during the Q&A session a little bit later on. So Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Aline, and thanks to all our city representatives. It's great to hear from you and about the challenges, and also to everyone we've engaged with throughout this process. It's great to hear the level of ambition in each of the cities, so we're really excited to be working with you all. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the open call for solutions. We're looking for SMEs from the UK, Brazil, Mexico and Argentina to work together on this program, and I'm going to talk you through what the offer is, why apply, who can apply, how do you apply, and how the evaluation is taking place. So if you go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So we've got a great opportunity here to increase knowledge and gain insight through our SME support program of capacity building, networking and workshops with our country experts from the Department of International Trade here in the UK. Opportunity to develop new partnerships with innovators and businesses in Latin America and the UK. Really great opportunity to raise your profile and get exposure to engage with senior stakeholders from cities, industry and investors. And a really exciting opportunity to present at the South Summit at a special event that we will be holding there, an opportunity to pitch, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, and also become part of a community and build connections with our business portfolio, which will be disseminated through our global partners as well. If you go to the next slide, please. So we're going to be taking SMEs who are selected as part of this on our net zero innovation mission, which will go to Sao Paulo, Campinas and Porto Alegre for the finale at the South Summit conference, which is Latin America's leading innovation platform, and a really great opportunity to meet people from government, corporates and investors. I think the last time there were about 25,000 attendees, so it's a really amazing opportunity to attend this. There'll be a showcase event during that conference, and there'll also be visits and matchmaking and networking activities in Sao Paulo and Campinas before that. So it's a whole week of activities on this mission, which we'll be taking people to. If you go to the next slide, please. So who can apply? Who are we looking for? Sorry, if you go to the next slide, please. So for UK businesses, you must be registered as a UK company and looking to partner and collaborate with like-minded organizations in Latin America, obviously to address one of the challenges identified that we've just heard about. And there's much more information on our website as well, and you'll be able to rewatch this webinar for more information about the challenges. You need to be export ready, though not with any previous experience, because there'll be some help with that from our partners. And the solution should be at a technology readiness level of 6 or above, which means that they've been demonstrated in the UK. Technologies with a lower TRL might be considered if you can make a case for it. So we're happy to hear from everyone. And then the next slide, please. The eligibility for businesses from Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. We are looking for you also to be a registered business in accordance with your national legislation, and want to partner and collaborate with organisations in the UK to address one of the challenges which have been identified, and should have experience and operational presence in the country of your selected challenge, although not necessarily in the city that we're working with yet. Also have credentials for promoting, developing and implementing innovative actions that address the challenges identified. If you go to the next slide, please, and the next one. So how to apply. There is an online portal on our website, and this web link is a bit long to copy down, but we can post it in the chat afterwards. But if you go to this site, you can apply in English, Spanish or Portuguese, and I'll tell you about the deadlines for that, but that open call platform is open and live now, so you can go there now and start to apply. If you go to the next slide, please. We'll be evaluating with a panel to review, and we'll also be holding interviews before we select the successful SMEs who will go forwards. And if you could go to the next slide, please, I'll tell you about the evaluation criteria. So it's weighted criteria. So impact counts for 30%, and that's all about, does the solution address the challenge which you're applying for? And again, there's more information on those challenge briefs to make sure that you're responding to that challenge. Sustainability, is the business model sustainable and scalable, is really important. That's 20% of the scoring. Innovation, clearly we're looking for innovative solutions here. So how novel is the proposed solution? How does it compare with what's already on the market? And also partnership readiness level. Here's my cat joining. Partnership readiness level. Is the applicant open to working with international partners? That's all about your willingness to work collaboratively with the partners on the programme. And then if you go to the next slide, please. So the key dates, the open call is open. It opened on the 17th of January. This is our application support webinar. The next step is that we will have a challenges and partnerships workshop with a bit more information on making partnerships. Applications for Argentina and Brazil close on the 17th of February and on the 28th of February for Mexico. And the winners will be announced on the 6th of March. And the Net Zero Innovation Mission is on the week commencing the 26th of March. this timeline you'll be able to look at on our website as well, and on that link that I shared earlier. If you go to the next slide, please. So call to action. We will be in each of the cities. So if you are an SME or an organization working in an area that is linked to the challenge, it would be great to see you. We're available for meetings and we'll be hosting workshops. Again, more information will be provided through our partners in each city, through Impact Hub and ICLAI. We'll be in Monterey the week of the 20th of February, Campinas the 27th of February, Guadalajara the 27th of February, and Buenos Aires on the 6th of March, and it would be great to see you. You can look on our social media channels and do promote the call to your networks. Svartov is really getting involved now. And apply through the link which we will share. I'll hand over now to Guilherme to talk about other partnership opportunities on the programme.
Yes, thank you very much, Jeff. Yeah, and as Jeff was saying, this is really a great opportunity to develop this combined partnerships between UK and Latin American companies and really address these challenges together. So I think that's where we want to achieve, and we really want to, after we develop this partnership, be able to move to the next level. So as Buenos Aires was saying, with these low carbon zones, or Guadalajara and Monterrey, and of course in Campinas, the idea is after we build these partnerships between the companies, we'll be able to go to the cities and really try to test and then deploy some of these solutions, which will be very important for the city, but also to develop the products and services for the companies that are taking part. So I think the ideas of the program is definitely to continue with this testing and deployment at a later stage. And we also will be very keen, of course, to expand the program to other cities. So this is the first cities that we are working with. And we really believe that as we are working currently already with Santiago in Chile and the city of Porto Alegre in Brazil as well, we're really keen on to expand this program to be, and going back to what Rodrigo said, really make this program the milestone for the partnership between UK and Latin American cities on addressing net zero challenges and bringing forward net zero solutions for all the challenges that they're facing. And we're really keen also to be partnering with the private sector as well. So we're, of course, supporting UK SMEs, supporting SMEs in Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico. But we really believe that large companies, large corporations, or companies already working in these cities, they are definitely invited to join the program in a way, and also we would be also willing to help these large companies also to address their own challenges when they work with the city. So I think, as we all know, I think it's quite very important also to build these partnerships between SMEs, large companies, universities, and the whole ecosystem in order to address these challenges. And also Aline mentioned before, like, and the cities that are taking part of this program have really top universities, the Tech in Monterrey, Unicamp in Campinas, University of Buenos Aires, and others. So definitely the idea is also to engage with all stakeholders in the city, not only city governments, not only companies, but looking at how we can all work together in order to address these challenges. And we also want to be quite, I think, quite bold and quite ambitious in what we do. So really trying to move from this idea of testing and deploying, which is the first phase of what we want to achieve, to really demonstrate that a solution can help cities address their own challenges. But then moving towards how we can look for potential funding from development banks, from other private sector organizations and others, to really implement these projects at a later stage, because we all know that the difficulty of ensure we can get the correct funding, right funding sources to fund this transition to net zero and make sure all our cities are resilient and ready for the future, as we'll be suffering with all these shocks and stresses in the coming years, and we already are. I mean, even the UK or everywhere, people are suffering. So we really need to get the funding and get the funding right, and then work with infrastructure projects that can really address the challenge. So I think I wanted to mention this because this is really the beginning of something that can be really large, something that can really bring change to cities in Latin America, and then also help Latin American companies and UK companies to work together and potentially even try to test and deploy their solutions in other places. Could be in the UK, in Europe, or everywhere around the world. As you know, Connected Places Catapult, we work broadly internationally. So we have projects in Africa, we have projects in South Korea, Australia, the Gulf region. So I think we're really keen. We know that these kind of solutions are global solutions. So Latin America is a great place to initially test your solution, combine UK and local companies, but then the idea is for these companies to be able to sort of like test and deploy their solutions everywhere in the world. So that's a little bit of what we want to achieve with the program. There will be much more to come in the coming weeks. We will be sharing these slides and also all the other information regarding the competition and everything we want to achieve in the program. And I think now we will also have some time for some Q&A. So feel free to type in any additional questions you may have, if you are from a company, if you are from university or from any other institution, and we'll be happy to answer some of these questions right now. We also have some other questions that came from in the other chat, but I think we can start with one question here, then and Aline and Megan just join also to support with answer the questions. So one first question here I can see from Eugenia is can we apply for more than one challenge? Don't know, Megan, if you'd like to answer this one.
Yes, sure. So first of all, hi, I'm Megan. I am part of the SME ecosystem support here at Connected Places Catapult. So yes, you can apply to more than one challenge. What you'll have to do is you'll have to make a new application for each challenge though. And if the Latin America organizations, they can only apply to the challenges in the locations that they are based. So UK, yes, you can, but you'll just have to make a different form, and you can't be obviously selected for each challenge. So yeah, that's just something to think about.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Aline. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Megan. And I think that one of the questions that a lot of people have been asking is regarding whether we're going to make the slides available. And the answer is yes. We will make the slides and the recording of the webinar available on our website probably tomorrow. So we will share the link of the project page, and you will be able to download everything from there. Perhaps tomorrow. Yeah. Let's see. We have a few more questions. I think we have a question on: is it possible to participate with a last mile solution that is already running, or is it only for new solutions? I think I can take that. So Hugo, obviously we are looking for solutions that for UK solutions, for example, and Latin American solutions that have already been, they have a little bit of a higher TRL level. So yes, we're looking for innovative solutions, higher TRL level. So yes, I guess innovation, but a bit higher TRL level. So I guess it will be on a case-by-case basis. So if you want to send us a little bit more detail, we have Megan and Metodi, who's from our SME engagement team, email address in the presentation, so you can contact them directly to check whether your solution will be within scope. We have no problem. So we have another question: that does the open course for both industry and academic, on only industry? So we're looking for commercial enterprises. So as startups and SMEs, commercial, but I think we would welcome collaborations between startups and SMEs in case you want to apply jointly. So that could work as well. That could be eligible as well, but initially it's for startups and SMEs, commercial entities. I think we also prepared a few questions that we thought people would be interested in. So, Megan, I think I will ask this question to you. So, beyond the program, is there any support available for startups and SMEs?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am part of the SME engagement program, and we have a load of different support that can be offered beyond this. You know, from network and reputation building all the way through to kind of strategies, barriers to innovation, and also engagement, stakeholder engagement specifically. And yeah, there's a whole host. So my contacts are on the form, the main page, the application page, and on this presentation. So if you have any questions, please do reach out to myself or Matodi, and we can see how we can provide that further support.
Thank you, Megan. Guilherme, a question. When will we have more information about the Campinas Challenge?
When the Campinas, so I think the Campinas Challenge, it's already defined. So as I mentioned at the beginning, Aline, it's on also last mile logistic. So I think the challenge has been identified, has been defined, and we will share more information. I think even in the coming days, even when we share with you with all the slides and the recording from the session, we'll be able to include some additional information on Campinas. So it was just unfortunately the person couldn't join today, but it's, as Aline mentioned during the presentation, it's a very interesting city and a great city to test and deploy new solutions. And I think on this last mile logistics can be a quite interesting one as well. And I don't know if so. We just have another one here. I just saw that we have something for Monterrey, saying water resilience is mentioned. So what is the exact opportunity available for Monterrey? I don't know, Aline or Megan like to take this one, or maybe I think what's the exact opportunity for all? I think it's
yes,
mention.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe I can take this one. So yeah. I think that what we would like to clarify. So we have 4 challenges. We're looking for startups and SMEs that have solutions that can tackle the water resilience challenge in this case of Monterrey. So if you go to the website, well, you heard Betsabe, Rocha, talking a little bit about the challenge around water resilience in Monterrey. We also have a briefing on the website in the project page. So we will select companies that have that can help Monterrey to tackle the solution. The offer is that we will work with you to raise your profile, to engage with companies in the UK that can, if you're a UK-based company, we will establish opportunities for you to connect with companies in Monterrey. They have also solutions, so to explore synergies. And there will be an opportunity for you to also join the Net Zero innovation mission that will take place in Brazil, but where you will be able to meet the cohort of companies that were selected, which includes UK companies and local companies. So that's the offer for SMEs.
Yeah, and also just to add, I think we'll be able to join like the South Summit, which is like this large event where there'll be more like 25,000 people joining, and the companies, the selected companies, will also be able to pitch their solution to this audience at the South Summit. So I think it's an opportunity, of course, address challenge in Monterrey, for example, in the case of water resilience, but it's also an opportunity for the companies to showcase their solution to a much wider audience throughout Latin America and globally.
I think it's also worth mentioning that as part of the net zero mission, we will cover the costs of the air travel, accommodation, and also the participation of the South Summit event. So I think it's important for you to all know what are the costs. The visit, as Jeff mentioned, we will carry out some meetings as well and some matchmaking activities, networking activities in São Paulo, Campinas, and then we'll go to Porto Alegre where the event South Summit takes place. I don't see any more questions on the chat, in the Q&A chat. So thanks everyone.
I was just going to say one thing, that anything just during the applications, it will take you to another page for the form. And if you have any issues or any questions about the status of your application, I'm the contact for that as well. So just come to me and I can hopefully answer everything.
Yeah, and just one question that I directly here. It's about what kind of support would the companies have before the going to the South Summit, for example? Because I think we will be having some additional events and activities, right, to understand the market. So I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add to this, Aline or Megan, on that.
Yeah. Do you want me to go?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Megan.
sure. So there'll be a number of different options of support. So there will be workshops with the country experts. The business of city brief. There'll be briefings before those selected can attend. Matchmaking support and pre-departure briefings, and also a membership of the Connected Places Catapult UK and Latin America portfolio of innovative net zero businesses. I hope I got all that correct. But yes, so there'll be a number of support, and then you will have contacts at Connected Places Catapult who will be able to answer any further questions for you during the process.
Exactly, and feel free to reach out at any point if you have any questions.
Perfect, thank you. I think that's quite comprehensive, and as we were saying at the beginning, the idea is to present the overall program, our objectives, and the challenges. And as you could all see, we are working really very innovative cities that are already winning prizes, such as Guadalajara and Buenos Aires and all the others. So I think it's really nice to participate of that, and also be able to join the mission and the final event in Brazil. So as Megan and Aline were saying, I was really looking forward to receiving your application. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact our SME team and also our global team. So Methodi, Megan, Aline, or Erica from Connected Places Catapult side. You can also visit the program website, where you can have additional information. And again, I really would like to thank the Department for Business, Energy, Industry and Strategy from the UK government, and the UK Science and Innovation Network from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office for the support for this program, and also our partners, Impact Hub in Brazil and ICLAI throughout Latin America for the delivery. So thank you very much. I think, as you said, as we all been saying, there are lots of challenges, but working together, we should be able to address them, and really contribute to the just transition to net zero and making our cities more resilient. So thank you all for your time, for participating. I know for some of you it's even like lunchtime in South America, so thanks a lot for your patience, and we'll be really happy to continue providing additional information to you all. And thanks again for the team, and particularly city representatives from Buenos Aires, Monterrey, Guadalajara for taking the time and accepting to join our program. As I know, you're all very busy with day-to-day business and tackling all the challenges that you already have. So thank you all again, and looking forward to continue our collaboration, to see you in Latin America soon. Thank you very much, and have a nice afternoon all.